Well, hello there everybody. How's it going? I promised you a video this morning, and here it is. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. This just kind of spur of the moment since Debbie had to go to her birthday party for a friend. Ladies only. I didn't want to go anyway. But it gives me time to go over some things that are... I'm just trying to keep going over things and over things and over things, and I will be in touch with you in a minute. There's somebody that kind of talked to me. But listen to this. These are the top marijuana users that are also supporters. Barack Obama. I mean, he didn't lie like Bill Clinton and said, I didn't inhale. You know, he said, I did inhale frequently. That was the point. That's one of the few things he ever says that I believe. Oprah Winfrey, Bill Clinton, Clarence Thomas, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, Willie Nelson, no shit, John Kerry, Jay-Z, Bill Maher, Bill Gates, George W. Bush, yep, Andrew Cuomo, Rand Paul, Sanjay Gupta is now a supporter, and as far as I know, he's probably using it too. He's at least the hemp oil, which I keep telling everybody, hemp oil is the bomb, okay? It turned Debbie around from 18 months in just 4 days. Just fixed her right up. That was the chaga mushroom from Tracy's site, hempsaveme.com. Go there. Try those products. If you can't get weed in your state yet, try these products because they're legal in all 50 states. Give me a second. Be right back. Okay, and we're back. I have some myths here. I wanted to say. People say stoned driving is as bad as drunk driving. No. That's totally wrong. They have found that there's been less and less traffic accidents involving marijuana, while alcohol accidents are still up there. Even though they find marijuana in the bloodstream of a drunk driver, the marijuana is not the problem. Okay? People have to get over that. High people know that they're stoned. Yes, because it does not change your judgment. Okay? It does not make you think you're straight. You know you're stoned. Okay? And you might be happy at it. You might not have a bad trip. I don't care, whatever happens. But you know not to drive. Or you know to at least wait until you feel comfortable enough to drive safely. A drunk driver always knows he's sober. Yes. It's a fact. I'm an alcoholic. I know. Oh, I used to say it all the time. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Sure. Just let me find my car key here. No. Drunk driving and pot driving are not the same. They don't belong together. It's not even clear that pot has increased traffic accidents anywhere, including Colorado. Okay, which is the bright shining example that everybody's been using. But like I said, a stoned driver knows he's stoned, where a drunk driver knows he's sober. And that's where accidents happen. Okay, they tried to, I had this commercial on a couple of years ago before they did the medical marijuana here, where they were showing these people these guys in a drive-thru, stoned, trying to order through the drive-thru, and then they're so intent on looking at their food, they pull right out into traffic and boom, have an accident. That was made up. That is not how it happens. Okay? Smoking does not interfere with your decision making. Okay? It may slow it down a little bit, but you'll realize you shouldn't be driving. Okay? I've, back in the day when I get coked up and I actually got high, which I don't anymore, I don't get high. I just feel a lessening of my pain. I mean, I have been smoking all morning because of my back. And I slowly moved. In fact, just right the last hour and a half, that my magna belt was around me here for my upper vertebrae. Because from T2 all the way down to my sacroiliac, all those vertebrae felt like they were being pulled in different directions. And it wasn't muscle tension. My muscles weren't that tight. I'd have Debbie put my ant venom all up and down my back. Almost used a quarter of a bottle just on my back. But let me tell you, the South American ant venom, it's called Izulant. I-Z-U-L-A-N-T. Izulant. It's called the bullet ant. There's a place called Alpha Omega Labs. Google them. They have these. This comes from Ecuador. Okay, the bullet ant is a native to Ecuador. Can't find it anywhere else. Well, they found out that the sting is like a bullet. And that's how they kill their prey. But for us, we're big boys and girls. We're not insect size. So this actually stings my shaving rash back here when I do my head. But that's because I've got this muscle all the way up here. And I have to put this stuff all the way up here sometimes for my headaches. And it works. It's Alpha Omega Labs. A 30 milliliter bottle costs $15. The only problem is the shipping. Because it comes from Ecuador, you're paying almost twice as much. So at $15 a bottle, one bottle costs you almost 25 to 30 bucks to get in the mail. Well, mine used to be a lot more opaque. You could see through it. Not really well. You could see something behind it, but it was semi-clear. And I called up and complained and said, I've never seen it this dark red color before, and it's not as strong as it was usually. Well, they're sending me a free bottle. Plus, they're offering that every time I order, I can order 8 times. I can order up to 8 bottles worth in one big bottle for only $40. $60 total for shipping. And I'll have 8 times as much for what I would normally pay for 2 bottles. So that's what happens when you complain. When you call somebody up and say, hey, this product is not working the way it was. Okay, there's a change. And they said, yes, they do get the ants. And when they get them, sometimes the colors change. Okay, that's something to do with the venom. But it also made it weaker. So they gave me a deal because I called up and complained. I called and complained to Amazon that this Lenovo ThinkPad that I told you guys we bought before the Samsung Galaxy Tab that I'm doing this on, it's still sitting here since December 10th. When I called them up and said it is not working, paid $150 to see the guy remote control it. And I'm just watching him doing this stuff, arrows flying all over my screen. He could not fix the problems. And this Lenovo ThinkPad is, Debbie thought it would be great. I said we should get Samsung just because it's equal to our phones. Our phones are, boom. When we put our phones on discoverable mode, boom, the tablet picks them both up. It's great. But that Lenovo ThinkPad, I downloaded Facebook, just Facebook, the first night. Did a few posts off of it, shut down, came back the next morning. All I got was the blue screen for Facebook with the F, and it stayed there. It never loaded. I had to shut it off, I had to restart it, do all these other things. Every time I tried to open up Facebook, it wouldn't. And for applications, games, widgets, all those things, they had nothing for it. When you go to their Play Store, half of their things did not have an install button. You couldn't install it. So I told them to come and get this damn thing because it's $400. I paid less than $200 for the Samsung Tab A, and it's so much better than a $400 ThinkPad from Lenovo. So I don't know if Lenovo will get pissed, but their product sucks. I even had the tech refund me the $150 because he couldn't fix the problem. I said, give me my money back, and I got it back. And I'm still waiting for them to come and pick this up. Finally, they'll promise to have a FedEx guy Monday morning pick it up. And then I still have to wait like 3 or 4 weeks before I get that $400 put back in my credit card. Well, I called Amazon and bitched and bitched and bitched and said, these people are not listening to me. They're not giving me the chance to return this product, even though it sucks. And it was a third-party seller. It wasn't Lenovo. It was something called Computer Solutions. Weeks and weeks, I just bitched at these people and said, come and pick up this piece of crap computer. It doesn't work. I don't want it. I want my $400 back. I'm paying interest on that $400. Okay? Sure, when my Capital One, I had my Capital One card for just $300 limit. That was my, trying to get my credit back. My credit's actually better than Debbie's. I'm up like 740. But I was trying to get, now I have $1,800. And I went from 18% interest to only 12%. And I have $1,800 credit on the card now, which is great because we used it for our Christmas presents. But I'm still paying that 12% interest. Every day this computer sits here, I'm paying interest on it. And it just pissed me off. And it made me just... I don't try not to stress though, because that's how I end up with my backbone. And this muscle here is, super tight and swollen all the time. Let's go to the myth number 2. Legalization will not hurt the cartels. No. The fact is that the legalization will mean less money for the cartels. And it will be harder for the cartels to push medications or to push these drugs and illegal marijuana. Okay? 50% of their business. If the entire U.S. legalizes weed, the cartel's business is cut in half. And all they've got to rely on is ecstasy, heroin, cocaine, and meth. So, yes, legalization will hurt the cartels. And it makes it easier for the DEA to go after those hard drugs. Leave marijuana alone. Leave smokers alone. This is medicine. Simply medicine. That is it. Cannabis is a medicine. Hemp is a medicine for the body and the world. Even cannabis itself breathes in pollutants from the air, and it doesn't get into you when you smoke the weed. It cleans it out. It's gone. It destroys it. Okay? It cleans smog. And hemp-derived biodiesel puts out 11% oxygen. Okay? You don't get that from any other fuel source ever. Anywhere. Even corn ethanol adds to the smog and puts out carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Imagine a car that puts out 11% oxygen. So, marijuana causes brain damage. Marijuana causes brain damage. Joking. It does not. It does not. I've gained IQ points in 3 years. Okay? More than I'd ever gained before. Because I've always been a self-learner. I read books, I read and research things, and I remember. Because I've got a photographic and eidetic memory. Things are confused in there sometimes, and it's hard to keep things going straight, but it takes some thought, but I'm able to focus my thoughts in one way here, one way here, and that's the way my brain works. But marijuana has not done anything negative to my brain. If anything, it's keeping the neurons clean, so I'll be avoiding Alzheimer's and brain cancer, as I see on the hemp oil too. So, a French study showed with a correlation of no clear indication that cannabis changes brain structure, and it's been shown to regrow and protect brain cells. Simple. Myth number 4, pot is addictive. I've said it over and over again. 9% is the only possible, maybe, number that they might be able to, say, get addicted. That's it. It's completely anecdotal information, because I had a cook that I used to work with, I talked about, named Jack. He cooked better after blowing off a couple hits. So every morning I'd bring a half a doob and send him out the back door and say, go get a few hits in you. And him and I could cook for 40 tables all by ourselves. Him pumping it out, me running it out to the people, keeping coffee and things. I was a hell of a waiter. I moved fast. Okay? I loved my job. I've loved all my jobs. Any job I ever went for, I went for it because I knew I'd enjoy it. But pot being addictive? No. Even the 9% anecdotal is below alcohol. 14% chance of becoming an alcoholic. And 24% of becoming addicted to cigarettes. So, and the 9% figure has been proven that some of this information was tainted by people's feelings. Okay? You've always got to keep this in mind when it comes to marijuana. People's feelings. Are they wrong? Most of the times, yes. Okay? And a lot of times it's the people who are, I'm sorry to say, holier than thou and think that they're better than everybody because they believe in God, and that there's no way that God, no, read Genesis 1:29 and then tell me that God didn't put plants here for our health. That's what that 1:29 says in Genesis. Verily I have given unto you every fruit, seed, nut that you need for sustenance, something to that effect. Okay? So, I say we've symbiotically grown to this plant because it's in our DNA with the endocannabinoid system. I'm going over and over and over that. It's a system that is in every area of your body. Bones, tendons, joints, ligaments, muscle. Okay? It heals bones faster. It prevents aneurysms. It cleans your bloodstream. It cleans your liver. I'm doing fine on morphine. I'm doing so fine. My doctor said, well, before I give you another morphine, I would like to do a fasting blood sugar and check your liver enzymes. How did I come out? A1. Perfect. The only thing wrong was my lipids and triglycerides, and that's because I like fatty foods, fatty, greasy, fast food. Okay? I can live off McDonald's and not gain weight. So, sure, my lipids and triglycerides are up a little bit, but I'm not worried about blood clots. I'm not worried about cholesterol in my veins, because weed cleans your body out. If it doesn't belong there, marijuana will get rid of it. Pretty much 100% of the time. Pretty much. Okay? We can't make a full-blown assumption that all 100% of diseases and disorders can be cured by medical marijuana and or hemp-derived medicine, cannabidiol. But the jury is still out on everything, but I have a list of over 150 diseases and over 100 people that support it. And everything points to nothing but a positive safety profile to marijuana, and an even more positive safety profile for CBD from hemp, from cannabidiol. Okay? And so I guess it didn't happen. They were threatening January 17th, that they were going to reschedule CBD from hemp with marijuana. I guess they realized their mistake when they finally settled down and thought about it, since CBD does to THC what Narcan does to heroin. Narcan's a Schedule 3. So shouldn't CBD be there? If marijuana's a Schedule 1 with heroin, Narcan works on heroin. CBD works on THC and kills the buzz. It should be a Schedule 3, if anything. But no, it doesn't belong in the schedule at all. And that's why I do this continuing series, to keep saying that prohibition is wrong. It's against nature. Okay? Our bodies are made to receive cannabinoids. You cannot doubt scientific evidence. Okay? Sorry, I'm really hurting today. It's still in the 8-9 range. Let me see, where can I go? Myth 5. Everybody knows what a stoner looks like. Okay. No. People look at, Shaggy. Shaggy was a stoner, yeah. And Scooby-Doo. But do I look like a stoner? No. No, I look like me. I look like I have my whole life. Okay? My uniform's the same. I've never changed. Blue jeans, t-shirt, and a flannel shirt, and my sandals. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. That's my uniform. When we got married, Debbie forced me into a nice pair of slacks and a shirt. That was it. No tie. And when I got a real estate, I didn't have to wear a tie anymore. I got rid of all of those. But pot being addicted, no, it's all people's feelings. Okay? And people say, look at the dude in the Big Lebowski. That shows the archetypical image that too many people believe. Okay? George Clooney smokes. Justin Timberlake, Louis C.K., Lady Gaga, I do believe that. Bill Maher, Morgan Freeman has fibromyalgia in his left arm from a car accident. He had to be pried out with the jaws of life. I think I put that in yesterday's video. But the anti-weed butthead's fallback position is that everyone knows that marijuana makes you lazy. Do we really want to encourage that? Does that not sound like the stupidest statement whatsoever? Studies have proven inconclusive, but I work better high. I've worked in restaurants for years. I was always getting high. I always put out great food, and not just fast food either. This is a sit-down family restaurant where I'd put out some good, perfect plates, okay? they figure that 5 to 6% of the population seems to have a motivational syndrome. That just means that you're not motivated. 5 to 6% of the population. This is not 5 to 6% of smokers even. This is just 5 to 6% of the entire population. And in 6,500 years of knowing that pot increases creativity. And they cannot for sure blame weed for motivational problems. It's the person. It's always on the person. You can't blame marijuana for somebody turning into a heroin addict. It does not happen. Okay? It's not going to happen to me. It hasn't yet. If pot's a gateway drug, Willie Nelson's been smoking 60 years at least. Okay? If pot's a gateway drug, it had better hurry up. Make sense? Me, I'm 55. Pot is not a gateway drug to me. Pot is an exit medicine. Okay? In that it helps me sleep with almost completely nightmare free, and that's the best because my sleeping pattern was broken for many years. Okay? I would be waking up every 2 hours sometimes, and I had to take a Valium or a half a Seroquel or 30 milligram morphine or something to help me just shut my pain off enough to get back to sleep. But all these people, Martha Stewart, Susan Sarandon, Angelina Jolie, Matt Damon, Conan O'Brien, I believe, Maya Angelou smoked, Justin Bieber. You need something worse than that. Sarah Palin, Phil Jackson of the NBA, Johnny Depp, Madonna, Robert Downey Jr. That was just a partial list. Ted Turner of Turner Classic Movies, Turner Network Television, Turner Broadcasting System. Tell me pop makes you unmotivated. The guy has 3 networks. And I think he owns WGN and maybe WOR too. Okay? And Ted Turner bought all of those classic movies that he shows on Turner Classic Movies. He bought those. So he had the rights. Okay? And he didn't do it by selling weed. He did it by being an entrepreneur and a businessman and a network executive. And he learned and he smoked. And it did not stop him from becoming a network mogul, basically. Myth number 7. Pot is worse for your lungs than cigarettes. As I said before, all my stuff points to the contrary. Marijuana turns teens into troublemakers. No, it doesn't. The only trouble we caused is we smoked weed when we weren't supposed to be doing it. Okay? But most of the time we did it off of school property. But sometimes we had a smoking porch. Okay, it was just this little nook between the gyms and the swimming pool. And we'd go in, 2 gyms, weight room and the gym, and had a teacher sit there and every hour, every teacher would rotate, and they'd just keep an eye on us. But we had a smoking porch. Smoking was still okay for high school students. We had a smoking area. We'd walk around the side of the building and took up. And people would give you a warning. You'd hear like a I mean, eat the joint quick because somebody's going to come around the corner. And yeah, I had the assistant principal come around the corner one day. I had a hit in my lungs. He pushed me up against the wall, and he just waited. And I'm sitting there going, pooh! Blew it right in his face, and then kissed him right on the forehead and said, I'm going to go out with a bang. What the hell? I didn't even get suspended. He didn't even tell my parents. which wouldn't have bothered them because I'd already smoked with them anyway. They knew. That's how, my mom was. I had to drive home when I got my mom stoned behind my friend's garage. So, the marijuana does not turn people into teenagers. Just in 1980, I graduated in 79. I should have, anyway. But there was a study of 10,000 high school students in junior and senior, and pot is one of the host of unconventional behaviors, but it does not make delinquents. Okay, delinquents is in the mind of the person, the same as addiction. Okay? People have to get past these myths because they're not true. Okay? I'm doing everything I can to put it out there and say that these are not true. Oh, and on an aside, I wanted to say, I name all of these marijuana, and I give it a title. So everything's under the word marijuana. Well, I get all these people coming at me talking about trying to sell weed to me from California and stuff like that. And no, I don't let people like that in my groups. Okay, there was a guy just today named Bud Weedman. Wanted to be a friend. I just went to his profile and saw that all he had was pictures of dabs and buds and piles of weed. And I saw we have the tops, and that's all I needed to see. Boom. Deleted the friend request and blocked him so that he can't see my pages. And I know that the reason he probably friended me was because I put on my page all the time to join the medical marijuana group and my pain group now and my patriot group. Everybody must be on my friends list. Okay, I'm not just opening my groups up to random people. I want them to be friends. I want to know them. I want to be able to talk to them and know who they are and know a little bit about what they're about. Okay? And I do that for the safety of my friends in the group. I won't endanger them by letting people in that are going to be selling weed. And people make it so obvious that it's really great and easy for me to go to their page and look and see, oh, now this one guy never had any pictures of pot, nothing. But the very first thing he did was he messaged me and told me that he had the greatest of $200 ounces. And I'm like, yeah, it's $125 cheaper than what I'm paying. But I cannot afford to lose my doctor, my opiates, and my medical marijuana script. This is a privilege. This is a privilege for me. Okay? And nobody, but nobody, is going to make me abuse my privilege given to me by my doctor via the Arizona Department of Health. So I'm legal when I'm smoking on air, okay? I wouldn't be doing this if I was on illegal weed. I would not be smoking on air. There wouldn't be any group called Rick's Medical Marijuana Group, which is one of the things. If you come by my group and see medical marijuana, that right there should tell you that I don't want you selling weed. Okay? This group is for legalization. My videos are for legalization. I want my videos to go as high as they can. Just as high as they can. State legislatures, mayors, governors, senators, congressmen, president, cabinet members, the grand jury. I don't care who hears it. Y'all gotta listen up, okay? Put on our thinking caps and listen. Marijuana is safe for the people. It cures syndromes, seizure syndromes in children as young as 3 and 4. Safely. Just a little tiny dot of CBD oil rubbed on the gums of a child can kill an epileptic or a Dravet's or whatever seizure in a heartbeat. There was this one I posted the other day. The family moved from Virginia or someplace where it was illegal. They moved to Colorado for their son because he was having 200 episodes a day. 200 grand mal seizures. That's where you're totally locked up, foaming at the mouth, you know. You can't get in between their teeth or they'd bite a finger off. Grand mal seizures. Stopped dead with non-psychoactive, non-addicting cannabidiol from hemp. Okay, listen up, people. Is that not the best thing you would rather do for your child? Or would you rather put your child on synthetic heroin, like OxyContin for 11-year-olds? No. Give them CBD. Do you want your child taking Adderall and Ritalin? No. Marijuana does just what all three of those meds do. Every medication coming out on the market right now, okay, they say they're doing all these studies on it, but they're throwing them out so fast that they cannot be doing the full-blown studies, okay? And I say that if they're not doing that, then they can't tell us that we need to do clinical trials and studies on weed. I have too much non-anecdotal evidence. This is proof. These are proven things off the internet that I have found and double-checked and triple-checked some and found to be true. Okay, so you can't sit there and be all holier than thou on me and tell me that marijuana is bad. Marijuana is never bad. It's the person. They say kids are going to get a hold of marijuana candies. No, because those candies are in the dispensary where the child cannot go. Unless it's a toddler and mommy has to take the child in with her. But guess what? The toddler can't reach the candies. They're locked up behind the counter. Okay? Now if mom gives her kid the candy, THC grade weed, that's not right. Okay? But CBD products from hemp, from CBD Hemp Save Me Facebook page, hempsavedme.com, is the safest thing you could do for your child. The best thing you could do for your child. Sorry, it's a really bad day on this shoulder. Cannabis used to lead to crime. That goes along with everything else. No, it doesn't. Okay, criminal empires are created by what? Prohibition. Prohibition in 1920s started the illegal liquor business. Okay? We'd never had JFK for president if it wasn't for that, though. Because that's where his great-grandfather or grandfather started. He made his money in illegal booze. Everybody knows that. You can find it. You can find the story. But it doesn't lead to hard stuff. It doesn't lead to anything but the refrigerator. Okay? All it leads to is the munchies and a feeling of well-being. This is either hemp or cannabis. They both work on the body in positive ways. And the only negative is the high. That's the only reason you don't give it to children. 18 to 21 and above, depending on your state laws. But I say, if you got, in some states, they're married at 14. Now I say, if you can get married at 14, I'd say you can buy cigarettes, you can drink, and you can buy weed if it's legal there. Okay? Because if you can get legally married, then you should be able to enjoy all the benefits of a married couple. So think about that when you're letting your daughter get married at 14. Okay? They should be offered the same perks that you're enjoying. Okay? It's like, get off your high horses and be a person. Don't act off emotions. That's what keeps weed illegal, is people acting off emotions. And they come up with scary stories off the top of their heads that aren't true. Or if they are true, the end result is still not the fault of either cannabis or hemp or the industry. Okay? There's more deaths, 60,000 deaths a year from Vioxx. No arrests. Medical marijuana, 65 to 10,000 years of no deaths, but 600,000 arrests per year for marijuana. 600,000. Okay? If we kill 60,000 people and not hold anybody responsible for it, okay? There's nothing with marijuana that we would have to regulate like that. Sorry. Boy, that hurts. So, they're even saying the jury is still out on the medicinal effects. I can go back over the list again. What did I start with yesterday? Chemotherapy, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, chronic renal failure, Crohn's, cystic fibrosis, damage to the spinal cord, nerve tissue, Darier's disease, degenerative arthritis, degenerative disc disease, degenerative arthropathy, the DTs for alcohol. When alcoholics start coming off of the booze and they think they're covered with bugs or something, marijuana. It's better than methadone for heroin addicts. All you're doing is giving a heroin addict extra methadone, extra heroin. It's the synthetic heroin. Don't treat a drug addiction with a drug that can be addicting. Okay? And that's what it all comes down to, is marijuana is not addicting. It is only addictive to the addictive personality. Some people shouldn't smoke weed. But at least go to the hemp. I can't move my head, sorry about that. At least go try hemp. Okay? You're not going to get a buzz. Get over it. You don't need the buzz. Cannabidiol itself is the greatest thing you could ever put in your body. And it should never be illegal, and it should never be held back from the public. And it's not right now. Hemp's not. Weed is. And that's my ultimate goal, is to get weed legalized in all 50 states and District of Columbia. And while we're at it, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, okay, shouldn't everybody, that's what it all comes down to, is I say everybody should be able to access marijuana at the local dispensary and medicate. That's all it is. Let's call this one Educate to Medicate. That's it. Listen to all of my videos. Go back through them. This is number 36. I've got them all written down here. Titles and everything. Yeah, this is going to be 36. I'll stop it really short here. I won't go to a full hour. But 36 videos in which every time I talk to you, I am saying what? Weed is safe. Weed should not be illegal. Hemp should be left alone. In fact, it should be allowed to be grown commercially. Okay? So somebody in a rope factory, right? If we start going to hemp rope, there's still a job there. You might lose your job making nylon rope, but you might get a job making hemp rope. Okay? So when people say job losses, they're not thinking right. They're just acting off of emotions, and they're just throwing things out there, hoping to be heard and believed, okay? And too many people believe them, okay? Too many of you out there just need to listen and research. Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engines you use, whatever search engines you use, just search. The information is there. And it's all to the positive. Anytime you find a negative, it's all going to be the same story. She started with more marijuana, and next thing I know, she was doing coke and meth and heroin, and she died. No, I doubt that happened. And I fully do not believe that marijuana had a friggin' thing to do with it. In fact, it could have been her parents, okay? You may have driven your child to need the escape of heroin, okay? The escape from marijuana is temporary, okay? It's not like heroin. It's not narcotic. And I'm drinking green tea. I make my own green iced tea. Iced chai tea is what it is. The bomb. I make it by the gallon. It's in the fridge in a nice pour spout. But anyway, people need to get over it. People need to stop acting off of emotions and start doing some research. Okay? I'm doing the research. I'm telling you the truth. All you've got to do is stop acting off of emotions and do some of the research yourself. When I say Google it, Google it. Okay? I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. I've got a lot of medical training, just like my wife. She's a vet tech, I'm a human tech. Okay? Know lots and lots and lots about medicine. We research things. So I started researching my morphine. I started researching my OxyContin and my venlafaxine. And I know everything about my drug sometimes before I take it. Debbie, I was having trouble sleeping, and I was trying to use extra Seroquels to get to sleep, but I'd sleep like the dead and I wouldn't wake up. Debbie suggested amitriptyline. That was her suggestion to the doctor. First she told me, and I says, well, you bring it up. I'm not going to ask the doctor for any more drugs. What he's giving me is okay. I will wait for more. Like, it's been 3 years at the same dose of morphine. And he just wanted to be assured that my liver enzymes were fine before he gave me that 4th pill. And I proved that my body, with cannabis, although I have a lot of natural curative properties in my body, I heal fast. I heal very fast. I mean, I might shave only 3 times a week, but I cut myself really bad here, and I had a big, long scab. Big, it's like almost like that big scab. It was gone between shaves. 3 days. 3 days from cutting myself really bad to being right down to clear, white, slightly pink, new skin. That's how my body heals. So that's why I told my doctor, I can handle the morphine. And I am. And it's helping. Because let me tell you, this morning I woke up in 10-10 pain. Debbie looked at me and said, do you need to go to the hospital? Without me saying anything. First she said, get up, Rick. And by the time I got up, right, I fell asleep here last night. By the time I got up this right, and I just went like this, and boom, my head just hit the table, and Debbie was like, do you need to go to the hospital? I said, no, I said, help me with my belt. Put the ant venom up and down my back, on every muscle, all the way up. My entire back was covered with ant venom. And then I started moving my belt, my magnet belt. I could pull it up, this little magnet. Got magnets in it right here. Those are little magnets. And it fits over the sciatica. And you can wear it all the way up. I was wearing it up here a little while ago. And it's good. Number one, it warms the back. That's what it's originally made for. They added the pocket, and they added the magnet impact that goes in it. And let me tell you, Nikken, Nikken Corporation. Our air filter, we used to have a water purifier, but it was too expensive to run, and we didn't use it that much. We mostly use Brita water out of the fridge because our well is great. Our well is clean here. But I'm getting off track. Where was I? Do you remember? No. I'd have to roll back to see it too. But I'm getting close to an hour here anyway. It's time to shut down. All it comes down to, though, is I just ask for people to not try to use me as a gateway to sell marijuana. That is illegal. I am fighting for the legalization movement. Committing a federal crime by interstate trafficking through the mail is not the way I want to live my life, okay? I can't afford to go to prison in my physical condition because they will not be able to take care of me as I need to be taken care of. So, I stay legal. It's mostly for my friends, yes, but yes, I need that protection because I need this morphine. I need that Seroquel and amitriptyline at night to get to bed. And I need this marijuana. And everything I've learned about it, everything I've learned about morphine and Valium and Seroquel, and everything I've learned about medical marijuana led me to build a group called Rick's Medical Marijuana Group. And it has led me to YouTube to send these videos as far as people can send them. I think I've only got 3 or 4 followers right now, but I have a lot of views. And I hope that people will start sending this everywhere. I don't care who hears me. I'm a legal smoker in Arizona, and I'm trying to legalize for everybody because it is a boon to the health of whoever smokes weed or takes hemp-derived cannabidiol. Period. That's it. Peace, love, truth, and happiness. Let's free marijuana from the prison of ignorance. Thank you.